Yo, so BUI. Guys, we were wrong. Now, before I get into this video, first off, the footage playing in the background is from your boy's stream. We stream quite frequently. Well, make sure to check the live tab for whenever we're scheduled. But, guys, in my video where I talked about YUI's kit, right? We went over her crit rate buffs, how she was a busted support. Yeah, so basically, we were wrong. Go ahead and scrap everything I mentioned there, okay? The reason for this is primarily just because YUI is a DPS follow-up attacker now. She is not a support buffer, and we think the reason for this is because, to be fair, they changed Riddle into a global attack buffer. So it doesn't make sense to drop YUI because it would particularly overshadow Riddle. However, YUI is not bad in my opinion. Now, I've talked to quite a few players, talked to quite a few whales and free-to-plays, and my boy Tycon, and basically, you know, Tycon himself has said that he thinks she's not, like, the greatest character. She's, like, not bad at all. She's definitely a pretty strong unit, but, however, she's kind of, like, mid. And, like, it's not even, like, a bad mid. It's kind of just, like, a damage-wise mid. I'm pretty sure there's a clip of her follow-up dealing almost 100,000, which doesn't sound too bad for passive damage at all. But I guess when you consider it to, like, games like Ratio, like Honkai Star or, like, Dr. Ratio's follow-up, like, for example, like, I guess comparing Bui's follow-up attack damage to, like, what Himako's attack or follow-up was to now what Ratio's is. So it feels like a Jing Yuang situation, Tycon said, where it's like, okay, she's bad right now, but maybe she'll indirectly be buffed in the future, you know, like maybe a new artifact set in the future for follow-up characters, or, you know, or maybe there becomes a super strong electric character in the future that really requires YUI to work and really plays well with YUI, so YUI would shoot up. So, right now, I'm going to personally say, free-to-play wise, I think she's worth getting a pull of. And that is due to the fact that all the content in version 1.1 is configured for her. Its follow-up attacks do more damage, follow-up attacks score more points in this version as well. So it just overall makes a lot more sense to go ahead and try and at least get one of her. You know, you can always, you know, if you don't want to, you don't got to get her weapon. But if you like YUI, go ahead and pull the weapon. Because at the end of the day, right, YUI might not be power creeping Joker, but I'm still going to go ahead and pull. So personally, it's worth it in my opinion. But with that being said, let's go ahead, overview the character's kit, character's dupes, and the character's weapon. Alright, so we are here on China with my boy Dragon's account. Obviously, y'all already know we did about, we did about 10k in crystals, 10,000 crystals, which is pretty insane. We got my boy YUI, and we got him the weapon. But, so, basically, we have a nice 60 level YUI with a nice 60 weapon on here. I'll do a quick artifact thing before I do that part of the video. But with that being said, first off, YUI, extremely strong follow-up DPS, if not the first follow-up DPS in the game, which I'm happy about, right? Because YUI is a really good unit, in my opinion, and I think she enables the mono lightning so well. And the team that I'm currently running with her, which is, you know, BUI, Riddle, and Closer, is such a good team, especially since everyone has Closer, right? Everyone has Closer's 4-star. You know, most people probably have, like, some dupes. Homeboy doesn't have any dupes on Riddle, or not Riddle on Closer, but it'd be like that sometimes, right? And then Riddle, if you don't have Riddle, that's perfectly fine as well. Not everyone has Riddle. If you don't have Riddle, you could probably run the Tomoko instead. Her teams currently are this. This is what the game recommends. But her first team is extremely strong, so I usually would say follow that. But like I said, if you don't have the Riddle, you can try and use the Tomoko, or you can use anyone else that you want in that slot instead. So maybe like a healer or something. Now, personally, if you're going to use this team, I definitely suggest bringing Puppet. And the reason for that is because this team has no survivability unless you're running like Wonder with a healer. And honestly, that's not a bad idea. In this team, you should probably bring, like, you know, a lightning persona. So in my case, Ame no Uzume. And then you should maybe, like, bring, like, a healer like Principality. Like, we got him for free. So you should most definitely probably just be using a healer on Wonder. Most likely, you should be using the Palace 2 weapon. Homeboy doesn't have it on this account, so I can't show it off. But you should probably, in this team, you want to most likely be using a support Wonder. It just makes the team work overall better. Closer will be your main DPS, BUI your sub DPS, Riddle your buffer, and Puppet your Navi for this team. Most of the footage you'll see in this video comes from this team. But with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about her skills. So, like I already stated, her skills we didn't actually go over on stream yesterday. But however, we are on the new translation patch, which I'm going to be making an updated video on that soon, so look forward to that. But first off, Crackle Surprise Box inflicts 174% attack, electric damage. If the enemy is not in the electrocuted state, it has a 64.4% chance. If the enemy is not electrocuted, it has a 64.4% base chance of being electrocuted. Okay, so we understood that it's just translated horribly. And the effect lasts for 2 turns. If the enemy is already electrocuted, the damage is increased by 30%. So basically, once again, extremely good mono lightning user, right? Closer will 100% proc the electrocute, and BUI has a 64% chance of electrocuting them herself. But this is just super strong. Now, let's go ahead and talk about Exploding Bricks. It's not a really great skill, but it's still good. Inflicts 46.6% attack, electric attribute damage. Boosts the damage inflicted on the skill's primary target by 25%. So basically, it kind of does what Closer's skill 2 does as well. You'll be boosting the overall damage for the second target. Now, Ultra Rare Rewards. This is where BUI sees a lot of use. This used to be a shit ton of crit rate, but now it's been nerfed to a shit ton of damage, which actually isn't that bad because now, like I said, it's making her fit into that main DPS / sub DPS role. Okay. Boosts 1 attack by 36.8%. If you choose a companion to be YUI's playmate, after your playmate unleashes Persona on an enemy and causes damage, YUI will immediately follow up and cause YUI's next 2 follow-up attacks to deal 125.3% attack electric attribute damage, and the effect lasts for 2 turns. Also keep in mind that these are level 8. It's probably a little bit lower, but I can't show you guys what it looks like at level 1, so yeah. Now, basically, for people that do not know, YUI has a 36% chance to proc her follow-up. Let me see if I can find it. Is it anywhere? No, it's probably her awareness. Yeah, here we go. It's her awareness 0. So for people that aren't aware, YUI has a 35% chance to do her follow-up. This cannot be changed at all. It will always be a 35% chance. However, once you proc that 35% chance, the chance to go up, or the chance to do it again, is increased. And Ultra Rare Rewards gives you a guaranteed follow-up for the next 2 follow-up attacks, which is also, once again, extremely strong because now you're not relying on that 35%. So basically, when you're using YUI in combat, you'll want to use like skill 3, and then you'll like just kind of rely on her follow-up. You'll use like skill 1 quite a bit. Skill 2 is kind of situational. And then you obviously, let's go ahead and talk about her highlight. So her highlight's going to be increasing YUI's attack by 32.2%. If the damage increase of YUI's attack power is equal to 23% of YUI's damage. That's also meaning that since this is going to be lasting for 2 turns, it causes YUI's pursuit to be triggered by any companion damage. So once you pop this highlight, anyone, like, you'll have that 100% guaranteed follow-up for that entire rotation. Which obviously I say rotation because it only lasts 1 turn. After 1 turn, her guaranteed for everyone will drop. But that's still extremely strong, honestly, right? I do think that losing the crit rate buffs on BUI was extremely, like, game-changing for her, but I don't think that it's causing her to be a bad character because all of this damage changed to her honestly isn't that horrendous. Like I said, She's not bad. She's like probably above it. I'd like would say good. I'm not gonna say super super strong unit, but I will say super super strong unit in Mono Lightning. Now, with that being said, we have her weapon. Her weapon's going to be increasing her crit rate, obviously, and you're going to be getting a higher damage boost from follow-up. So if you're actually deeply into YUI, then I highly suggest pulling for her weapon. And the reason for that is because if a companion releases a skill with the electric attribute that triggers a pursuit attack, the damage dealt by the YUI follow-up is increased by an additional 22%. So this is literally her best weapon. Not only are you getting that 22% overall, right? You get that nice 18% crit rate up. You're getting her follow-up increase by an additional 22%. So it's not actually that bad. Pretty strong. Now, for her 4-star weapon, I actually didn't pull it the entire time we were pulling. I did not get the 4-star weapon. So let me, let's see. Can we check out her 4-star? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So for her 4-star weapon, you're going to be getting, let's see. Come on, translate. Please, thank you. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm gonna keep it 100%. I low-key have been sitting here for 3 minutes waiting for this to translate. Finally. Alright. So she's going to be getting a crit rate up of 7.3%. Obviously, this will change as it goes up. And she's going to be getting a 9.7% attack increase base when the electric inflicted happens. And this effect lasts for 1 round. It can be stacked for 2 layers. So that means that you can base it, I think, about 21-ish% off of her 4-star. So this is also a super strong option for her. Now, she does once again have her 3-star alternative, which I'm pretty sure actually if I walk my ass over to EY's shop, I should be able to find it there hopefully. But basically, Yui's a super strong follow-up DPS, right? But I think that she's not really going to find her place in meta anytime soon until we get a enabler for Mono Lightning or just super strong YUI buffs, or even indirect YUI buffs would be alright, honestly. Alright, here we go. Okay, so basically, electric shock to a person and shock enemies in the electrocuted state have their attack increased by 18%. So that's a weird thing, but I'm just gonna assume that once again this means that if you have the enemy electrocuted, you're going to be getting an 18% attack increase. With this weapon, there will be no crit rate up, unfortunately, but that's to be expected. This is your most free to play option right here. You can max dupe this if you don't want to pull on weapon banner, but honestly, I would suggest just going for the weapon banner. Now, with that being said, though, however, I want to talk about actual meta usage. I think that BUI has her potential to be in the meta, right? She's being used kind of up and down right now in the current area of Sea of Heart, or did I say Sea of Heart? I think it's Sea of Souls, my bad. Yeah, so she's seeing usage in here actually quite a bit. However, though, the biggest issue right this second is, let's go ahead and pull up over here. So, right now, the number one in this is using BUI, Closer, Riddle, and Puppet, the exact team that we just talked about, right? You're just seeing a lot of BUI right here. So this current content, if I'm not incorrect, is actually tweaked into her favor, right? You get increased damage from follow-ups, and on top of that, you also have the new guild content. Now, guild content, that's kind of iffy right now, because not many people are really touching it, because I think there was a bug. It's probably fixed now, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that BUI will be strong. But I think what people need to do is give her time to settle in, because she's not coming in with a humongous bang. She's coming in with the bang of a follow-up attacker, but she's not coming in with the bang of like, oh, I'm power creeping Joker or something. And I think a lot of people expected when they heard her kit was changed to DPS for her to either power creep Joker or just be ass. And honestly, how they did a really good job at how they handled it. But I think that as a free to play, you should at least get one of her, because next banner is a complete skip anyways. The Minami, which is the Bless Healer, obviously I'll make a video and a guide on her whenever she comes out, right? But she's going to be a standard banner unit after her banner, so there's no point in pulling on that. So that's another free banner you can skip. If you get Yui early, unless you want to go for her weapon, bam, you can start saving for the next 3 weeks. You're not even gonna have to pull anymore, right? And besides Makoto, we'll probably be at 1.3. We'll get a new Phantom Thief definitely in 1.3 and 1.4. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video here. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe. As always, Discord's in the description below, where we have a nice thriving community. We are constantly helping out each other with P5X. And you can also come join the Korea Guild in there. With that being said, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace, everyone.